Blame on. How's everybody doing, everybody? And I'm here with my special guest, Nick Lenz. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. Now, this month really came by fast. I was not. I mean, seriously, we just covered last month's solicitation like 2 weeks ago.
Yes. I
But
think we were a little late on that one, right?
I think we were. I think we were about 2 weeks late on that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And just in time for the new Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapters. No, that premieres on Wednesday. So hopefully we can get that one done next weekend. But I'll let you know if that ends up being delayed. But with that being said, anything you want to promote or say to the channel before we get started?
I did a couple videos before we started. I got more anime to talk about later on. One of my favorite anime. I told Jay Heath this before we got started. Welcome Demon School Aramacon is renewed for season 4. I've been really hoping this one give because this is a damn good show. It's funny, entertaining. Plus, it has Kara Buckland voicing one of the characters who you would think the character she voiced would be in her warehouse, but she does. Karen Bailey, hi. Somebody you know, Jay?
Yes, they're a consistent commentator on the channel. Great to see you, Cameron. Great to have you on. But
his last name is also my niece's first name.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, and she's 14. And I'm speaking of her, I've got her, my sister, her younger sister, my younger niece, and my brother-in-law, and my grandma got the Christmas shopping done.
Hey man, you're further ahead than me. I'd be so caught up with work, man. I got a lot. Man,
I have this for 11 people.
Oh man.
And look, basically, some I do know I want to give for them. Some I have to think about it. But I'm like halfway through right now.
Oh man. All right, let me go ahead and screen present this so we can go ahead and get started. But man, I got a lot going for me this year. But
I noticed it recently. I found out the person spearheading the DC Finance books is Mark Waid.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, he's one in charge of these books. I found this off in name recognition that he's one doing it. And they did a live stream promoting I think it was like when they launched the first 4 books. I think it was the was one for Batman Year 1 and 2. Superman from the Golden Age, Wonder Woman from the Gail Simone run, and I think it was a Justice League America book. Because all 4 books came in the same month, they basically all did a whole launch of all 4 books. Basically, they just talk about what's inside the book. The stream lasted they did was like over an hour long, but it's a really interesting stream. And Mark Waid went into the fact I didn't know this. Apparently, back in the late 80s, he was assistant editor at DC back in the late 80s. I did not know that. I always knew he was a writer. I didn't know he was an editor. I knew he was editor in chief at one point, but I never even worked for the DC. I'm here. You here?
Okay. Yeah, I was lagging for a second. Please continue.
Yeah, I never knew that he worked for them back in the 80s. That was complete news to me. The world is ablaze. What the heck? It's a Batman book. It must be Batman.
Yeah, were you?
Now, as far as I can tell, I don't think this is the month they're releasing Jeff Loeb's books because this could be still. This is Justice League. I thought it was Batman. Justice League. Interesting.
Jaylee.
That the cover basically thought was Batman.
Man, this is the.
And he's carrying Martian Manhunter. Who, by the way, he still has New 52 garb. He's never officially gone back to pre-Flashpoint garb. You ever notice that?
I have. They kept that design relatively consistent.
I think, if I remember, I think Jay Lee designed that costume. Everyone else is Jim Lee. Everyone else pretty much changed. Okay. Batman's kind of mostly got back to pre-Flashpoint look for him. I think it was the look he had just prior to Batman Incorporated. Superman, of course, obviously went back to pre-Flashpoint look. The only characters who have not gone back to old looks is Flash and Martian Manhunter. They're like the only major character in DC who have not changed their costume.
Wonder Woman's changed her a couple times. I think Black Lightning's changed his at least once. Wait, did Black Lightning?
The current book, and he has gone to the movie, the TV show look.
Okay.
the one he had from the first season, because I did know his appearance on Crisis on Infinite Earths, where he changed costume. I didn't know he changed his costume during the last season. I had no idea about that until I watched, because I hadn't watched this in the first few episodes of the show. So that was simply the reason for it. So we have Wade, Dan Moore doing the artwork here with variant covers by Christian Moore, Salvador Roca, Luca Bernera. Oh, I even like the fact Bleeding Cold did this, where they put like names who does the covers, because I know this is probably different than we usually use, right?
Yeah.
For these solicits.
At least to my knowledge.
Yeah. I love the blue here. That's really cool. And it's just like reels from horrors inflicted by the parademon horde. A new threat rises across space and time, with the team racing to put out multiple villainous fires at once. The mystery surrounding Martian Manor deepens as the techno-terrorist group Inferno makes the bold move yet as their secret leader is revealed. Interesting. Now, as far as I can tell, this book has not been released yet. The first issue has not been released yet for this one.
Yes, it is not. I believe it comes out either this coming week or the next.
Yeah, because I've not seen it come out yet. I didn't realize this because I thought that the book, the Just America book that Jeff Lemire was doing, I thought it was going to be called Just Society America. I didn't know it was going to be called JSA until I saw the book when it came out. Did you notice that?
I did.
I'm like, really? I guess DC probably realized that, hey, people like the letters JSA more than Just Like America. That's why they could believe the same title. Now we're in the Bat books. Batman 156. I believe this is Zardisky's. I think it's going to be his last issue.
Yes, he is leaving the book after this issue to set up for Hush 2.
Yeah, because Dynasty concludes Oversized Fashion. I'm actually kind of enjoying this story arc for what it is. It is quite interesting. It's probably a little bit better than what he had before this, which had been slipping a bit since his second story arc he did. Actually, I think he's been slipping since Gotham War.
Now, Gotham War, in my opinion, is where it started to get bad. But the Descent, when it's this far back, is fail-safe. Because I'm not saying having a grand contingency plan. The concept is there, don't get me wrong. But it just, with everything between editorial, the death of Alfred, you really weren't going to get a whole lot of fan engagement with this run. It's just a lot of baggage was going into it. So I don't. So
the second story was really good. The Batman of Gotham, that was really good.
I just feel like, but it start. Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it has fallen off to a degree, but I'm not going to say it was bad throughout. Like, it had good ideas, just poor execution. That's all I'm going to say on that.
One high praise, but this one it has really good artwork.
Oh yeah, the art was always consistent. I'm not going to refute that.
Yeah, and Jorge Menez doing the last issue, which no surprise, because I believe he started this run. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was the first artist for this run.
Hey, T29, how you doing?
Because I heard something that apparently after the first arc came out, Talati's in the chat, that after the first story came out, when they did the second story, the sales slipped after the artist was changed.
Yep.
Now, I'm not blaming the writing. I think it was probably due to the marketing of the book. I don't think it's the content of the book. I think it was the marketing of the book. It probably caused the slippage in sales.
Yeah, that's always a factor. Yeah, but Ram V's run, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Nick, but Ram V's run was just one giant opera from beginning to end.
Yes, and it just wrapped up recently with a weird final page. Did you see that last issue? Where it's like, oh, got the season on fire, and you have Batman going out, and then next issue doesn't even mention that at all.
Yeah, I feel like that
run.
I just feel like that run was relatively Detective Comics has become more self-contained for the most part, where the Batman books play more of a role with like the Fantastical, Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, stuff like that.
I mean, the one thing about these books, they don't necessarily need to connect as long as they have good storytelling. Because I did hear something from Dixon. That was a plan in the 90s. They were going to do this. They're going to have all books connect like the way the Superman books did. But they were going to have the books swap writers and artists, despite the fact that everybody's doing perfectly fine. Like, you have Dixon and Graham Nolan doing Detective. Batman was done by Doug Mullock at the time. and Shadow of Bat was done by Alan Grant. They were doing their own stuff, and if you change the creative team, then it becomes confusing in terms of flow. And the plan was ultimately abandoned. It was there, but they never did it. I don't mind Batman's Detective Comics occasionally crossover, but they can do their own story arcs. They don't have to connect all the time, as long as they take this place. And have it where, the best way I can say it, have a good placement of where the heck these take place, because DC usually has this issue where you can never really tell when stuff takes place.
Yeah, they used to have editors' notes to actually help with that, but again, this is a completely different generation than when you and I were coming up with comics. So
yes, I think the Bat books occasionally still use editor notes. I think they use it. I know that Superman used it. Wonder Woman does not.
No.
Flash, I think does, but mostly it references the current one, doesn't reference previous stuff. Mostly just Batman, Superman. I don't think Nightwing does it. Titans did do it occasionally. I know JSA does it. Well, when Jeff Johns wrote, of course, he had editor notes because he loves those. Because anytime he writes a book, you got to reference stuff. Like, example, when they brought in Pat Duggan in the first story arc, it was the first time he fought the JSA since JSA number 72. Yeah. That was back in 2005. And I just reviewed that storyline. That was an amazing storyline. And I'm glad DC has collected a few times because that run is amazing.
That's a good run. I will not refute that. One of the best of that year. I will not refute that.
Yeah, and it's one of DC's best comics. They do keep in publication. They keep constantly printing, which I do praise them for that, because why take out of print an amazing comic like JSA by Jeff Johns, James Robertson?
Ooh, excuse me. But,
because to do all the issues, he didn't do the opening 5. That was James. He did a majority of the run. He did not do the last 6 issues. That was on a different writer.
That is true. But at least in my opinion of this comic, I just feel like this is just Chip Zdarsky's version of the original Court of Owls storyline in the comics with Lincoln March. And this is just a retread of that. Again, back in the New 52, they dropped it, but I feel like this is his attempt at it, if that makes sense. Yeah, and it's first time to be active in a while, because it feels as though, like, they've been quiet for several years. I think the last time they were active was the opening story of Nightwing. Yes, the Gray Sun. I believe it was either Robin War or the Gray Sun. It was the opening story that Tim Seeley did. Oh, okay. That was I think that the plan was to go into that afterwards, but they delayed it because Grayson did its own thing. And then the first Tim Seeley did that first story. He teased the Robin War, and they've been quiet. Though they did briefly appear in Doomsday Clock. And apparently, like, they had this one character called the Judge, who apparently is like a leader of Court of Owls. And Snyder has done anything with him at all because most of them are in Doomsday Clock. All right, so Batman 5157 by Chip Zdarsky, art by Jorge Menez does the cover 2, and Tony Esteno, who also does the variant covers. Jorge Menez does the variant covers 2, Tony Harris, who I've met. Jorge Pina, Rafael Gussa, and Mitch Gerard. I think he was the second artist this run. He did the Batman of Gotham. He did that story arc. With the Coriolis plan reveal in the city in chaos, Batman must find strength to find a war on multiple fronts to save Gotham disaster. The fate of Jim Gordon, the Riddler, and all of Gotham in the hands of Darkness in the climax issue that takes 2 big superhero bring to life. Well, makes sense. I like the fact it's 40 pages. I don't mind the fact it's $5 because it's the conclusion. It's perfectly fine. I have no issue with this at all. Now, some would say the Absolute Universe as a whole is mid, but definitely Absolute Batman is one of the best titles out so far. Absolute Wonder Woman is a close second, and Absolute Superman, I mean...
It was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it just felt jarring and out of place.
The problem I still have with Batman is the freaking bat symbol and the fact he's so freaking huge.
Yeah, I feel like Scott Snyder really wanted to create a modern Dark Knight Rises because you could tell by the aesthetic. Like, you can really tell. Yeah, but why the heck we make his legs so beefy? Like that. It doesn't make any sense. I get the fact he's being muscular, but not where his legs are freaking huge. Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Oh yeah, and I have seen it where they turned the bat symbol to freaking axe symbol. Did it in the opening issue, where it's like Batman going through like 20 freaking thugs.
And I'm sorry, why does Black Mask look like Director Bones?
Good question. And is that supposed to be Roz behind Batman's left shoulder there?
No, that's Alfred. That is Alfred in the Secret
Yeah.
Agent days. Because in the absolute spoilers for issue 1, by the way, in this continuity, Alfred doesn't get leveraged or guilted by his father to be a butler for the Waynes. He stays a secret agent throughout most of his life.
And the thing is, Batman has no money. This is basically a poor Batman. He has no money, no mansion, no Robin. There's no Robin in this book at all. I would say the story's been pretty slow. So far, anyways. I do not agree with that price tag for 24 pages. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is a little too much.
It should be three. Like, if you're going to have that price, give more pages.
At least 30 to 35 if you're for a $5 comic. At least 30 to 35.
Now, it could be because I don't know if this is the case. DC being greedy on this. It could be because Scott Snyder's in the book. They have to put $5 on it.
Star power is a factor.
Yeah, despite the fact he actually argued against this for Zero Year. Did you hear this story?
Rumors, but I never got the full story.
Okay, the story I've heard was that DC wanted to have of Zero because at the time the book was $3.99. DC wanted to do the whole like 12, 13 issues, all $5.99, and Snyder's like, no, that's a terrible idea. And they had supposedly the opening issue was to have, but occasionally some of the issues were like, I think it was like issue 24 was like $7.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And the only reason why, because it was the issue where Batman put on his costume for the first time in story. And it's a double-sided issue. It's huge.
That is completely over the top.
And here's some by sheer coincidence. That was the second most expensive comic of that entire year. Guess what the most expensive comic was?
Who?
Jeff Johns' last issue of Green Lantern, issue 20, which was $8.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, but that run was good in a nutshell. Jeff Johns got away with DC editorial got away with a lot with Jeff Johns. If I'm being,
it should be $5, not fucking $8. Oh, I didn't read what was going on here with this one.
I thought you did. Okay, I'll just read this.
I know the Batman did. Absolute Batman. Let's see. Nick Dordana, Julie Jones, Baron Coward, Ian Bertram, Nicholas Draper Avi, Clay and Shaw Man. I heard these two are going to come back and do more work. Those of you curious about Seth Man, that is Clayman's brother. I asked Clayman about that. I've never met Seth Man, so I take his word for it.
Now these are John and Bertram's variant covers right here. It won't let me zoom in deeper than that. But,
yeah, it's John's, Bertram, and it says right there on the bottom.
Yeah. This one's Clay's, the 1-25, and the 1-50 is Seth's. Not gonna lie, I prefer Clay's more because of the grounded aesthetic.
I think that's Nicholas Drake Ivory. Clayman's one on the far right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Nicholas. Okay, never mind. But still, I prefer the 125 over the 150.
Yeah, I love the cover. With his friends live at stake with a broken.
Sorry, I was lagging. Please continue.
Yeah. With a broken, beaten, ultimately defeated Bruce Wayne, finally compromising to give himself and Morals back to Black Mask, or does he have something bigger than help himself to help? And what does that have to do with Mayor James Gordon and his relationship with young Bruce Wayne? All this more in the penultimate issue, the first arc of Absolute Batman. So it's going to be 6 issues. No surprise there. DC loves the 6 issue story arcs. They love doing that.
Now, I have to make this ultimately clear. I don't care if this is an Elseworld. I don't care if this is. I don't care about Elseworlds. Basically, semantics aside. Please, for the love of God, don't make Barbara Gordon a love interest. Please don't. it's weird in just about every continuity it's in, and you're not going to be able to make it work. Hey, what's up, Taladia? How you doing?
Hey,
That's Claudia.
hey, did you check my DM I sent you?
Hold on, let me check.
So, Claudia, I heard you have a birthday.
Yeah, I did.
Happy birthday.
Oh no!
Thank you.
Oh no! Man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's why I keep
But-
I was putting it in the chat.
Oh man, but yeah, I sorry, God, I can't talk. But yeah, glad to have you on the show, man. But I was just saying that please don't have no bat sets in Absolute Batman, please. Just don't.
Now, so I can tell you this, right? Absolute Batman number 1 to 5 apparently is called the Zoo, right?
Oh, right.
And according to William, it's volume 1.
Are they relaunching the book after only 6 issues?
No, there'll be like volume 2, so they'll be doing like
One each story arc will be a volume, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. But I thought to chime in on this because you know what? I've been reading Absolute Batman. I love it, and I call him Tank Man because he's a freaking tank. And if you remember when we did the solicitations for November, when we talked about Batman
remember.
when Batman had a tank, yeah, there's no escaping that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he's always going to be referred to as Tank Man. There's just no escaping it.
Yeah. Oh, Claudia, how old did you turn on your birthday?
33. Oh
Wow. Means you're 3 years younger than me.
So okay, Superman 23. All right.
Was there a Detective Comics issue about this one? Because I thought it was more one
No,
above this.
Detective Comics is currently weekly right now with the Phantom Zone art. I forget the official name, but it involves.
Oh, that's Action Comics. I'm a detective.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, who is under Detective Comics right now?
Tom Taylor.
Oh, that's why. In my opinion, Tom Taylor's hit or miss. The run's either gonna be really good or really, really bad. Outside of an Elseworld, there is no in between.
Yeah. Oh, I did read the first issue of this story arc, and I was shocked the fact they made Time Trapper this. This is Time Trapper, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Doomsday. I'm like, wait a minute. The classic Legion superheroes villain Time Trapper is Doomsday?
You
Time
know,
Trapper debuted in the freaking 70s, and Doomsday was debuted in the 90s. How does this make any freaking sense?
Nick, I gotta ask you this. How do you feel about thin, skinny Doomsday?
This is weird. It's so freaking weird. And just when he freaking talk. I know he talked briefly once in one story, but Doomsday does not talk. He's a freaking monster. Why the heck is he Time Trapper? This makes no freaking sense.
For the most part, one at a time, gentlemen. Okay, for the most part, Doomsday is basically DC's version of the Hulk. Let's just call it for what it is. So to see him actually be coherent and actually be able to display a thought, I mean, yeah, it's a little weird. But with Time Trapper, it does kind of explain it. It's weird, but I'm curious to see where the story goes.
But him becoming Time Trapper, this doesn't make any sense at all. Given the fact that, here's the thing about Time Trapper. Prior to this very story, Time Trapper's face has never, ever been seen. He's always in shadow every time he makes appearance.
No,
I think it was Jim Shooter created him.
One at a time, Nick. Taladia, please continue.
I was gonna say, I find it weird that Doomsday is thin, so thin that he's not Hulk level, but he's more on, I don't know, Batman build. The way the Batman is built, right?
He's more average.
Yeah, he's like an average Joe now. And I'm not thinking, I'm like an average Joe type of person. No. And why would he be Time Trapper? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense either. So I'm thinking, a theory just popped in my head of who this could really be. It can't be the actual Doomsday. I think it's a character Doom that Scott Lobdell created.
I think I know who you're talking about.
That's a good shout.
I think it's him because he had the powers of Doomsday at one point. And he just disappeared. Like he disappeared after very brief, he had a brief ongoing series. Then he appeared in Teen Titans. And then he disappeared. No one's heard from him since. I think this might be doomed.
Yeah, that's a good shout, Nick. I'm not gonna lie to you there. So
Because there's no way this can be Virgo Doomsday. No way. Yeah, it may look like Doomsday, but I don't buy this being actually Doomsday. Given the fact how intelligent this one is, and the fact how it's own, I think it's doomed.
Wait,
That's what I think it is.
Didn't they set up Doomsday breaking out of hell in one of the tie-in one of the backups?
Yes,
stories?
which was a nod to his debut back in the 90s when he did this thing where he would punch a wall every freaking issue. We get out of this freaking box he was in order to go on a rampage. So good on Dan. I think it was Dan Moore who drew that last page. Good on the artist for homaging that classic. I think it was Dan Jurgens who did that original artwork.
Taladia, you want to read this one?
I want to do Absolute Superman.
Fair enough. I'll take this one. Written by Joshua Williamson, art and cover by Dan Mora, variants by Nathan Xerxes, Dan Panesian, and Gulliman March. Apologies if I mispronounced those. 1/25 variant by Dave Johnson, Black History Month variant by Ryan Benjamin, Hush 2 variant by Carrie Andrews. Oh, I thought there was one more. And 32 pages for $4.99.
That's okay, but it should be a little bit lower.
As the Man of Steel battles for the life of his deadliest adversary, Doomsday, Superwoman travels across time and space to unlock the secrets of the Time Trapper. What life-shattering secrets lurk at the end of time? What clues can Lois Lane find to save the future? And can these answers be uncovered in time to halt the Time Trapper's absolute evolution into God mode? Find out in this essential chapter of the many deaths of Doomsday's saga.
Oh my god. Okay. Absolute Superman number 4. Right? Done by Jason Aaron. Art by Rafael Sandoval. Variant covers by David Talaski and I can't pronounce the other one.
And Raza.
Raza. And we got Kieran Grant and David Talaski doing variant covers. And it says Superman is on the run, pursued across the globe by an armed peacemakers. Oh God. And Lazarus Corp top field agent Lois Lane. Now in a new force to join the case. But are the mysterious Omega Man friends or foes for Kal-El? I'm glad Lois Lane is gonna be lame, right? She's not gonna be Superman savior.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just can't get this out of my head. They basically, for Absolute Superman, they basically just gave him Kara, Supergirl's origin, and called it a day, where he was actually, a small child leaving the planet instead of an infant.
Yep. And fun fact, this actually is one of 2 major comics Jason Aaron was working on, along with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Like Jared, Jay, I gotta ask you, right?
Sure, what's up?
Like Absolute Superman, right? You've probably read number 1.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I have read number 1, yes.
What do you think of the issue?
The issue as a whole, it's fine once you get through the weird backstory of the caste system and basically the president speaking against science. And I'm just like, the Council of Krypton, it really doesn't matter because in every version they use up Krypton's resources and the planet becomes stable. So you really didn't need the political commentary on that. You could just say the planet's unstable and Jor-El makes arrangements for his son to leave. So at the very least, he saves him. You really didn't have to add any more to that. But hey, that's just my opinion.
Is it just me, or is that one of his costumes looks a little different than usual?
Which one, Cheetahs or Grails?
A Wonder Woman.
Oh.
It just top portion. It reminded me of the pre-Flashpoint attire a little bit, but that's a reworked costume. But it reminds me a lot, the way it looks now, it reminds me a lot of a pre-Flashpoint look, a little bit.
Who's doing this? Oh God.
Still Tom King.
Is this going to? It doesn't say it's going to be his last issue. I've not heard anything when he's going to lead the book.
Wait, I think this is the end of this. I think the Sovereign arc ends on issue 19 or issue 20.
Maybe.
from what I heard. But yeah, I don't expect Tom King he's definitely going to leave the book before the end of 2025. I already know it. If I
Yeah.
had to predict, he'll leave the book by June.
Yes.
Jared,
After the birth, you want me to do this one?
Sure, go ahead.
You can do this one.
After the birth of her daughter, Diana returns to the battlefield, ready to take down those there to harm her Wonder Girls. To take down the sovereigns from General Grell, she must call upon her friend turned foe, the Cheetah. Now, those of you a little curious about why the heck that she looks like this, I don't really know. Though I have met basically. Here's the thing about Cheetah. She's been redesigned in the last 10 years twice. First by Tony S. Daniel, and then she was redesigned again by Liam Sharp. And now she's got looks like she's got a third redesign. They kind of changed look a little bit. You notice that?
Yeah, I see what you mean, but this is just a basic tracksuit. It's not a full scale. It's not a drastic design change.
My only guess is the reason why the writers simply think that Grell is Wonder Woman because she was featured in James Robinson's star in his brief run for Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact she should be a JLA villain because her father's freaking Darkseid.
She did play a role in Darkseid War, but nothing else outside of that, other than setting up for that conflict. But hey, if you're gonna put her anywhere, Wonder Woman would be a good place. I mean,
Or raising a baby to trying to be her own father, which was a weird thing. It was Superwoman's baby, where it was. Oh, I think it was where the father was actually Earth-3 Lex Luthor, who was evil, and then she gave birth. Then Grell took the baby after killing Superwoman, and kind of made the baby into Doomsday. As for why in the world that Doomsday was basically using DNA of Earth-3, I don't know. It's
Wait. Scroll back. Wasn't it supposed to be what's his name?
Ultraman.
No. Darkseid. Wasn't it supposed to be baby Darkseid?
Yes.
No,
it was made in the dark side, but it originally was like a half human, half Amazon baby.
Right.
Because
Okay.
human and Superwoman is Amazon because she's the. I think she's supposed to be Wonder Woman's equivalent in Earth-3. That's how she was interpreted. The only time that it was not Wonder Woman, it was in Crisis on Two Earths movie where they made Superwoman the equivalent to Mary Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say this, though. At least from what I remember, Baby Darkseid, or at least they used the baby from Forever Evil as a vessel to reincarnate Darkseid. That's how I always interpreted it. Now, I could be wrong on that, but again, that's how I interpret it. And it led to a whole arc with Grail slaying the Greek pantheon and Diana having a brother. And it was a whole thing.
I think her brother. I think he might be still alive. I'm not sure. He just stopped appearing. James Robinson wrapped up. He's not even mentioned.
No, after that run ended, he was never mentioned again.
It's almost like the writers just don't care what James Robinson established because, with the exception of the whole Baby Darks becoming Darkseid, a lot of other stuff basically were ignored because the EC editors sometimes don't care about popular writers. And after you wrap up that book and Detective, he has done nothing since then. Like, have you seen one of the books since those two runs wrapped up?
I have not.
And that was, I think that run came out. What was like 2018? I think it was 2017, 2018. That run was, and then nothing. Either he took a break or he's retired. I have not heard anything from him in years. I've never met the guy. Oh, episode Wonder Woman.
Now that is a really good cover. Just saying.
Well, Timo, let me say welcome to the show. And as for the DC All-In Initiative as a whole, it has potential, but I'm just skeptical from a commercial standpoint. But I am intrigued either way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it'll sell is the real question.
Yes.
All right. Do you want me to read this?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Wonder Woman has thrown everything she can at the Tetracide. Sorry, and still is pushing forward, devouring the gateway of city. With everything on the line, Diana has one big idea left. In her current state, she has nowhere near the power she needs to pull it off. Now that is a really cool cover, right?
Yes.
Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, Homrad, Junhun Lee is doing the covers. Variant covers by Mike Perkins and Homrad.
I met Mike Perkins.
You met Mike Perkins? Oh, that's cool. Is he a nice guy?
Yes. I even asked him what he thought of Sebastian Stan as One Soldier. He loved it. I think I would ask him after all because he did give me an identity, so why not? And he also described Edward Baker as the worst actor in the movie. He's not an actor, he's a writer. Oh my gosh, it's Captain Adam.
Oh no.
Well, I love that variant cover. That cover right there.
Jay Heat's got ads.
Yeah. The Lexford cover. That is a cool cover.
Yeah, I'm using Bleeding. Yeah,
I think it's
Bleeding Cool for
the
this
other
one.
project, but I love that variant cover about that Larynx cover. That is so awesome.
That Lennox cover looks really cool, yeah.
Yeah. The next one is amazing too.
Very retro.
101. 125, that's okay.
Yeah, I believe this is a spin-off title from JLU, the Adam Project.
Okay.
Yes. And
Oh
Claudia.
God, John Ridley.
Yeah. Claudia,
Yeah.
how do you feel about John Riley writing this book? And he also, he and I found out in January, he's going to be writing his Action Comics.
No.
Mm.
Why?
Players call him a superstar red, even though he's not. He's a writer that nobody cares for.
Why? Like,
Wait,
why?
he's going to be on Action Comics?
I think we saw on the solicit for January that
Oh
he's
God,
going to. Yeah.
God, I thought that was a fee. I thought I imagined that. Oh God.
Oh
Well,
no.
Well, this next run's gonna suck. We might as well accept it now.
Yeah.
Well, I would have chosen a different writer. Like Gail Simone, Mark Waid. They did some issues for Super Initiative. They are superstar writers. John Ridley is not.
I would
No.
love to see Gail Simone on action comics. That's my take on that.
She has actually did a recent run for the book.
No. I mean like a permanent action comic.
That would be interesting, except she's doing a run for Uncanny X-Men right now at Marvel.
Yeah, Gail Simone has been exclusively Marvel for the past decade.
I think like the last Mage book, aside from Action Comics that she wrote,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what was the last book she wrote. I think it was Secret Six.
Yep, Secret Six.
And I did hear something that before she did Kenny, she did a comic for about a few years because burnout.
Wait, wasn't she on Batgirl Burnside in the New 52, or was that somebody else?
Somebody else.
No, somebody else on backup site.
Oh my God. That book went through like 5 writers and 50 issues.
If you want to know everything about Batgirl, you should ask Little Movie Prep on that because he's the New 52 Batgirl guy.
Yeah, I love to get some own stuff. I like a little bit of stuff that is separate afterwards. But my gosh, the rebirth run for this book was so bizarre. Like they gave the Penguin a son.
What?
Yeah, Penguin got a kid.
Yeah, the Penguin and the Penguin solo title 2 years ago. It's actually a pretty decent book.
Yeah, in the Batgirl title, that's when they debut Penguin's son, which there was a story called Son of Penguin. And he also had a daughter revealed in the pages of Gotham Academy. A teenage daughter.
I wish you could see my face right now, but my camera's crashed. But it's like I'm just shaking my head right now. Like, really? Really, DC?
Yeah, I think they explained the story that the mother of his son is like a former waitress that he had one night stand with.
Oh my god, this is.
Why did you put that image in my head, Nick? Why?
No, Nick, you shouldn't have put that.
Which apparently in the book, that he's actually a very good father. He takes responsibility for his son, which good on him for doing that. And at one point, this is really weird. In the arc, he briefly dated Barbara Gordon. Penguin's son, not Penguin.
Thank you for clearing that up.
It was odd, and I don't think he appeared. I think he did a brief appearance in the Penguin solo book, but that's been it for Penguin's son.
Justice League: The Atom Project Issue 2, written by John Ridley and Ryan Parrott. Ryan Parrott is a decent writer. He wrote the Power Ranger Boom comics, so I'm at least willing to give him a chance as a co-write.
Yeah, why the heck would they put John Ridley's book is a mystery to me. What? It's like does DC not trust Ryan Parrott? So they put him with a writer that nobody that readers don't care about.
I guess it's more of a co-writing credit because they don't think Ryan Parrott could carry a DC title on his own. It's more of a precautionary thing. But really, out of anyone you could have commissioned for, John Ridley, out of anyone on your staff.
You know who would been better for this? To work with Ryan Parrott, who was not John Ridley. One issue might be interesting. Carrie Bates, one of the guys who helped co-create the version of the Atom that we know, the Silver version. You could have brought him in.
Bates could have pulled it off. Not gonna lie.
Greg Wiseman probably could, except that he's busy doing Detective Spider-Man.
And he had and with the TV division, he had a falling out with DC.
So I would say that Carrie Bates is probably the only person you can do with this. But I would pick him over John Ridley any day.
Agreed. Okay. That's fair.
And if he was still alive,
did we read the solicit for?
No, we did.
Okay.
If he was still alive, I think Steve Ditko would love doing the art for this book.
Oh, you had to give it to Ditko if he was still alive.
Because he created Captain Atom. Well, he created the original version. He technically is one of the creators of Captain Atom. He may not have created the Silver Suit version people know of, but he is the creator of Captain Atom. He was the Nightshade and the Question and the Blue Beetle. Well, the Ted Kord version.
I believe that was from what comics was that before they were consolidated to DC? Charlton Comics. Thank you. And they were consolidated in 1970, if I remember correctly.
Yes, apparently the owner of DC bought as a gift for Dick J. Johnson's story. I've heard. Weirdly enough, Cap did have a brief book by Charlton, which has been printed in Action. I think it was like Action Archives, and like nothing since then. Though I did hear in DC's Finance they're collecting the Peacemaker stories from Charlton.
Okay,
probably for synergy purposes,
and also because of the TV show.
So who's going to read this one?
I'll take this one. As Nathaniel Atom makes a desperate attempt to escape the return of his atomic superpowers, another strange transformation within the hero known as Captain Atom begins. And this time, the good Captain's powers will change the trajectory of the Justice League forever. Plus, a dissent brews in the ranks among the science team at the heart of the Atom Project on the Watchtower. So why is Ryan Choi leading the mutiny?
I just have another person who could be a better choice for co-writing than Ryan Parrott. Besides, who was not Jim Ridley, Gail Simone, because she helped create Ryan the Roy Cheeto.
Ryan Choi.
Yeah, she created that version.
Ryan Choi.
Zatanna.
Now I am glad Zatanna. Yeah, she's finally getting a solo book. Well, limited series, but still.
This is her second one. Second one recently because it was also Bringing in the House.
But finally, she's getting like a spotlight on her. She hasn't had the book in a long time, but
last book just called Zatanna was the Paul Dini book. They ended back in 2011, which there's a full trade for that one complete collection. This is 6 issues, not bad. I think DC probably wouldn't trust her with a full ongoing because she is a popular character. Probably not enough to basically hold an ongoing series, but 6 issues is fine.
Yeah, I agree. 6 issues is fine. I really like the artwork, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like the variant covers. Show the variant covers, Jay.
Sure.
This is written and drawn by Jamal Campbell.
So people can see the variant covers because.
Which one? The first one there. That looks like a poster.
Yeah, the one with the poster. The one with Zatanna. Yeah, that one I like.
I wish that was the main cover. It said this one was fine, but I really wish that one would because that would be something people would buy right there. That was Scold's Bakina. Mm-hmm. That cover would be amazing as an Action Man cover, but no, because variant.
It's still great.
It's so
So-
great.
So let's read the synopsis.
Sure.
I would think covers that is the best one. Agree?
Agreed. Written and drawn by Jamal Campbell. Variants by
Yeah.
Chris Pachulo and Sozo Makia. Apologize if I butchered that. 1/25 cover by Swady. 1/50 by Jamal Campbell, and the full variant. I believe that's the one we just looked at earlier. Zatanna Zatara, the Mistress of Magic, is back on tour. She's got her stage crew back together and is looking for a new, less chaotic chapter of life. However, her plans are disrupted before they even begin when her stage crew is abducted by a ghostly new adversary, the Lady White. Now, Zatanna is plugged into the machinations of tricks, swords, and curses that threaten to tear her apart from the inside out.
At least got to praise the fact that DC has a respect for Gardner Fox for giving her, because, fun fact, Gardner Fox created her and a bunch of her characters. Gardner Fox was, you think of him, look at the characters you created, you think of him as DC's Stan Lee, because he created so many cool characters that we still know of this very day. He practically created, in a way, about 30% of the known characters we know today. Because we actually know another one, the Atom, Ray Palmer. He created him too. He also created the Justice League, the JSA.
Mhm.
I think this is this is New Gods. This is the Brand B title. Love that variant cover, big bar. That is cool.
Yes, definitely. So,
Now the issue for this book has not been released yet, so either this is issue 3. This is another book that's not been released yet. I think the first issue's come out in December.
Yeah, at the tail end of December.
Yes.
I think right before Christmas, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so in case anybody's going to ask like how we think of the first issue, it's not been released. This is another book that's not released yet, but continue.
Taladia, you were saying?
yes, I was going to read this one.
Sure, go ahead.
So it says deep, obviously written by Ram V, art done by Evan Cagle, cover by Nimit Malwania, variant cover Mike Hutchinson, and Birth of a New Card art take cover Evan Cagle. So it says deep in the cosmos, the Intergalactic Inquisition descends upon Apocalypse and New Genesis, carrying it with it a sinister message: convert or be destroyed. When meanwhile on Earth, Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, with their baby in tow, seek the mysterious child spoken in the Metron's prophecy, despite desperate to find him before Orion does. Could this child, this new god, be the universe savior? Or could he be in a reincarnation of the universe's greatest evil?
The baby is probably Jacob, their son, who was born in Tom King's Mr. Miracle book.
Yeah, didn't he get an Elseworld debut in Deceased?
I think so, but he did also appear in the Fatal Furies mini series. So at least he's not somebody who was confined to Tom King's book. The Aquaman book.
Yes, love that cover.
I think this is the first Aquaman book since Aquaman in 2022.
I think so.
Now, to be fair, I have not read Aquaman, but I heard it was really, really bad.
It's Brandon Thomas who wrote that one. Let's see. Who writes this one? This is
Jeremy Adams.
good choice. Because he did a great job with The Flash, did an amazing job with Green Lantern. I guess DC trusts him to do Aquaman.
Have to.
If he does well with Aquaman, I want Jeremy Adams to work on Superman next.
I agree.
I can see that.
Here, I don't mind that price tag, $6.99, basically $6 for 48 pages. That is actually a really good price point.
This is the second issue, by the way. I think this is I think we saw this last month, where this is where this book starts in January.
Yeah. But second issue in, what happened was 50 pages. Did Jerry Adams basically just put out a lot of material for just 2 issues?
He had to.
Yeah.
Nick, you want to read this one?
Yeah, Nick, you have this one.
Okay. After the shocking events, Aquaman #1. Arthur Curry is now a king without a home. The hope is truly lost. But it's so truly lost. The answer lies in Aquaman's mysterious new underwater water morph abilities, which he borrowed out from his wife for some reason. A portal to the unknown. Earth's uncanny undersea hero must train like never before to stand a chance of recovering Atlantis from the ultimate apocalypse. Or should we say apocalypse? So it looks like new gods basically involved in this. Ride the wave of the biggest wave adventure of the year in the second issue extravaganza brought to you by the tide-turning talents of Jeremy Adams and John Timms. I gotta admit, this actually is a great duo for this book. So it looks like we're basically involving Darkseid in this. The whole water building things that is Mira's power, not Aquaman's. It's interesting that he was given his wife's powers.
Unless
Wow.
Mira is depowered in this. Unless Mira is depowered in this comic.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, the Grant comic returns for the first time since 2014.
Wow, I am
It's
blown
been
away.
long since this title ended. Like,
This is
I think it's come out. It's like, oh my gosh, this is almost like it's come out almost 11 years since this book ended. Yes, it was. There was too many series and team up with the Howard Shorter, but just Green Lantern Corps.
Just Jessica Cruz, you've got
Is
Simon
that-
Baz.
Yeah.
Simon Baz, yes.
And there's
Yes,
Kyle Rayner in his look. People, I think people still love this attire for Kyle Rayner, the black with the symbol. I think Ron Martz gave it to him late in his run, in his original ongoing run with John Stewart. Looks like he's got a redesign for his look. And Guy Gardner.
I'm surprised Simon Baz is back. Like, he was a plot line for the original series, and it led to the first Lantern, and he hadn't been seen, like I said, since in 11 years. Like, I thought he was a one and done, but I'm surprised he's back.
I think the last book he was featured, I could think of, was actually the Green Lanterns book.
No, he did. Yeah, like I'm saying, he did carry over from Green Lantern Corps to Green Lantern, but I mean, after Death Metal, he vanished. He fell off the face of the earth.
Even Jessica Cruz disappeared too. Ooh, look who the creative team is. When we get to scroll down here, it's Jeremy Adams.
And Morgan Hampton.
Okay. Oh my gosh, is that Evil Star over on the right there? See it?
Deep cut. Deep cut.
Yeah, and those who are curious about that guy, he's an old JLA villain.
John Stewart still has his sister, the construct of his sister from Board Journal.
And
Wait.
T. Lantern's here too.
I'm surprised Teen Lantern stuck around as much as she did. Like, this is a redundant character, in my opinion.
Bendis created her.
If only
Why
I had
he
that
made-
clip, Nick. If only I had that clip.
Yeah, you mean me. Only if you had that clip. Okay.
All right, who wants to read this one?
I'll read this one. The corpse is back, and just in time for the deadly new Fractured Spectrum saga kick into full gear. Join the newly formed Green Lantern Corps as they head out into the galaxy in order to stop Sorrow and his master from creating the new power battery. John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Jessica Cruz, Guy Gardner, Joe Mullen, and all your favorite Lanterns are back in the most incredible ensemble cast this side of the cosmos to all bring to you the greatest galactic creative team of Jeremy Adams, Morgan Hampton, and Fernando Parrasan
From The Flash.
from The Flash. Yeah.
And no mention of Simon Baz in the solicit, even though he's in the cover.
Hopefully he'll make an appearance in the comic.
Yeah, but John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Jessica Cruz, Guy Gardner, fine, but Joe Millam, she's a character. I have zero problem with the character. She's fine. I have no problem with her being bisexual because that's what the creator wanted for her. But she's the only one of the. She's Teen Lantern. I couldn't care less about her. But Frontier Lance, I have no problem with basically getting her, like her being featured. She's a good character. Plus, she's got a cool look too. So this is her master, like giant glasses.
And Cameron's like, "Oh God, thank God," because I was about to DC was sus.
But I am so happy this title was back. Like, yeah, we had 2 miniseries with Howl's Green Lantern Corps, but there's I think there'll be no Green Lantern Corps title since that last book ended. Which I think at the time, I think it was Van Jensen writing those last issues. Because Venditti basically took over that book after Tomasi left. So it's been a while. Since before Rebirth, that was the last time we saw this book. Green Lantern issue 20.
Written by Jeremy Adams, art by Jack Hubert, art cover by Abriel Colin, variants by Stefan Segovia and Fernando Blanco, and Michael Alreed.
What a cool cover.
Nice.
I love the cover, especially you have Joe basically in the back with her hand up like that. That is so cool. I don't mind she doing it. That's fine, because of all of these 5 people in this cover, she's probably by far the newest Green Lantern of all of them. Because Jessica's been around since like 2013. Joe showed up, I think it was like 2017, I think it was.
I think her and Teen Lantern debuted around the same time.
I'm curious about the other one. Of course, Hal's been around since the 50s. Guy's been around since the 60s. John Stewart's been around since the 1970s. Created by the late Denny O'Neil and the late Neil Adams. And Kyle Rayner showed up in the 90s.
In an attempt to stop the Sorrow from creating a central power battery, Hal runs across an alien infected with red energy that threatens his life. All while Kyle and his team must retrieve a piece of source energy from one of the most dangerous and mysterious places in the universe, the Source Wall. The Fractured Spectrum saga rages on in this next exciting installment, spinning out of the pages of Green Lantern Corps #1. Hey, Green Arrow. I thought, man, I saw Green Arrow still ongoing, huh? Taladia, you want to go ahead and read this one?
No, I'm going to read the next one.
Okay. Far Sector itself is relatively standalone, Cameron, but Joe Mullen was carried over, I believe, in 2020 after Death Metal. But I could be wrong on that. Green Arrow issue #21, written by Chris Candon, art by Montos, cover by Taran Clark, and variant by Mark Aspinall. After his encounter with the freshwater killer, Oliver Queen has even more questions regarding the ecological disaster in Star City, which leads him deeper into his own history as the threat comes even closer to Oliver's home.
I'm back. The Flash.
You're good. You good, Nick?
Yeah, I had to go take care of business. What the heck is that costume? It's got black in it.
Black Lightning.
The first issue was okay. I think Brian Thomas works better with this book than he does with Aquaman.
Okay, there we go.
I'm reading this one.
Okay, Taladia, go ahead.
The Flash, #18, done by Simon Spurrier, art by Vasco George. I can't pronounce that.
Vasco Jorive.
Jorives. Okay. Art by Mark Del Mundo. Cover art by Zoe and Stephen Geroi. As it says, as tension in
Scarterus.
I can't even pronounce things today. Reaches a fever pitch, the entire Flash family gets involved, and the Rogues make a play for the throne.
Yeah, why is Wise Koskinen redesigned? This makes no freaking sense.
Wait, this is Wally. I thought this. Oh, wait, Barry got depowered and absolute power. Never mind.
Yeah, but why is it black? I mean, the Black Lightning. Now, I was talking about this in the first issue of the book. They gave Black Lightning his look from the first season one from the Black Lightning TV show, which no problem with that. I had no problem at all. They practically gave him the whole design. They practically made the character look like the actor from the show. Not sure why, but they did. And they feature his daughters in the book, which prior to this book, I don't think they would ever feature in years his daughters. It's almost like DC just really want to get rid of his daughters for some reason, despite the fact they're created by Jeff Johns and Joe Winnick. Not only a fan of the Brandon Thomas thing, but the first issue was okay. I didn't think it was terrible. It's a little better than I wouldn't say it's better than the last Black Lightning book, Cold Dead Hand, done by one of his co-creators. But at least the book is set in Suicide Slum again, and let's see some new town like was last book.
Written by Brandon Thomas, art and cover by Fisco Ozio, variant by Kieran Grant, and Black History Month variant by Ryan Benjamin. $3.99 for 32 pages. Not too bad. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are forced to quarantine Thunder aboard the Watchtower, which puts the Trinity at odds with Black Lightning. Jefferson Pierce's metahuman outreach initiative allowed him to make a difference at a global scale, but is he willing to throw it all away to free his daughter?
I think maybe the quarantine because maybe your powers on control, maybe.
Okay, who didn't see this coming? Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is completely obvious.
This is Detective.
Yeah, this is Detective Comic, but I'm sorry. The story just feels predictable to me. If you've read the comic, you know what I'm talking about.
It's a Detective Comics 1094, written by Tom Taylor. Why Tom Taylor? I'll never know. Art by Michael Janin, Bruno Renovo, and Ariel Olivier. Variant covers, and Juan Verata, variant cover 1.25, and Ryan Benjamin, Black History Month variant cover, and Justin Nguyen, Hush variant cover. It says the shadows of Gotham extends and darken as Asima's blade grip on the city's underworld tightens. Now, while Batman struggles to keep his city safe, he begins to suspect that he has uncovered the identity of this bloodthirsty menace, and it may seem very close to Bruce Wayne. Tom Taylor, Mike Jenin, Epic's journey through the bloodied streets of Gotham continues, and it only to be seen to believe.
This reminds me a lot of Greg Rucka's evolution story arc from Detective Comics back in the 2000s. Reminds me a lot of that.
Why is Tom Taylor writing mainline continuity? I'll never know.
Well, he did write Titans and Nightwing.
No,
Titans, but Titans was a shelf title trying to lead while they were trying to trim the fat from all the editorial stuff at the time. Whereas Nightwing wasn't too bad. It was an improvement from the Rick Grayson saga, but
Yes.
as it's on its own, I wouldn't exactly call his run good.
Yeah, that first main cover I saw, that's a really cool cover. Let's go to the top there for that first main cover. That Ronaldo one.
Yep. It's at the top.
One. Yeah.
Here.
That is a cool cover. Reminds me, it's like classic. Reminds me a lot of like 2000 style covers for Detective Comics.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. And
Yeah, but this story, it's like the way it reminds me a lot of Evolution by Greg Rucka. Reminds me a lot of that. That was from like around like 2001, I think it was, which has been collected in a couple different trades. One his own trade, the other was New Gotham. Superman with Direct the Bones. Oh God! This I was talking about. Remember Jay Heat? John Ridley writes.
Yep.
Oh no! Moncast.
I thought it was a one-shot issue. Nope, it's a story arc. DC, why did you put this man in this title for?
At least they got Volcana on the cover. At
Yeah,
least
got
I think-
Volcano cover, but here's the thing. DC. Nobody cares about John Ridley. Nobody cares about this guy at all. You could put a lot better writers in this book. Heck, I wouldn't mind if Grant Morrison did more issues for this book. Because he actually is a superstar writer. Bring him in. Or Scott Snyder. I know he's busy with Absolute Batman. I wouldn't mind him doing a story for this book. Because technically, he's never done a story for Action Comics. He's read Superman before, yes, but he's never done Action Comics.
That's why I like Superman Unchained, because it was really good, well written by Scott Snyder.
Claudia, you want to read this one?
Yeah, might as well. So it says the second chapter of the Tale of the Truth and Hope is Clark Kent digs into what drove major disaster back to crime. He begins to uncover a great conspiracy involving previous reform villains. When the noble reporter gets too close to the truth, he finds himself under attack. Now the only person that can take him can take over his investigation is Superman.
I think that's in the prison guard. I think that's Atomic Skull.
Atomic Skull, yes.
Yeah, I can tell because of the way his skull is. If it didn't have that smoke helmet, it would be Direct Bones.
Yeah, I'm about to say, when you said that earlier, like, no, that's Atomic Skull. I'm like, I mean, I could tell the aesthetic just by looking at it.
Yeah, and interesting look for. Oh my gosh, who's that peeking behind the corner there? You see that?
I see him. He's right here. Right here. Hold on. I'm
I
lagging.
can't tell who that is.
I want to say that's Director Bones, but I'm more than likely wrong.
No, that's not Direct Bones. He doesn't show off his eyes so he can see perfectly fine.
For a second, I thought you said Officer Bowles.
Why
could
would
be, It is interesting DC brought in Volcana, given the fact she was DC Anime Universe character. Like, she was featured in that show, and I think it was just recently brought into comics.
Yeah, she was canonized recently. I forget the title, though. I want to say it was Action Comics, but I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
two recently did four. And guess what the other one is? This might surprise you, Heat.
What?
Do you remember the character Ray Claw from Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah, he was
She.
Oh, excuse me. She only had one episode.
She was in 3.
Oh. I guess I only saw her in one episode, but please continue.
She has been featured in the comics. In Harley Quinn.
Oh.
Not by Teeny Howard. Stephanie Phillips.
Hmm.
Which, yes, they do keep the same look for the show. I was surprised to see her in that book. And I did mention in my review of it that, oh yeah, this is a character voiced by Captain Catherine Janeway herself, Kate Mulgrew.
Now,
I think she was one of 2 Star Trek alumni who did do some voice work on the DC Anime Universe.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe Dorn did one. I don't think anybody else did. I know he had a lot for Gargoyles, but I know that's the most notorious one. But I'm thinking there was one. I think she's only on the top of my head. I can think of who was the Star Trek alum who did some voice work for the DC Anime Universe.
So Tevye saying, I thought Grant Morrison retired.
I think he's doing some independent work now.
yeah, he's doing independent work from what I heard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is Catwoman by
Joran Grabeck.
and I heard an interview from her. I thought she was Norwegian. Nope, she's Irish. Yep. So she is a good writer. She's not be as known as other writers, but she is good because I first saw her work on Venom. So, and I trust her on this book. So it is interesting. Now, I'm not surprised DC had to do a female character because that's what DC does. They like having the gender of the writer match the character they're writing. Despite the fact they've actually had men write this title before. But that's kind of what it is. Matter of fact, the 2 writers for her was like a guy. Ram V wrote this book. So this book has had male writers with it, but not many. Not recently. He's only one recent anyways. Selena Riot, let's see. Artworks by Marina Iziga, cover by Saba Furuba, cover up by Frank Cho, Dan Pushin, Novich, and Lennox. Selena arrives in Tokyo looking for an old ally and much needed respite. Unfortunately, the feline fatale of crime. Her enemies are one step ahead of her. As she tangles to outwit them, Catwoman's offer a proposition. What if she were completely disappear and give up being Selena Kyle forever?
I forgot she was on the run in this current arc. Maybe.
Yeah.
A miniseries with Black Canary, or is this ongoing? No, it's a miniseries. Never mind.
Yeah. The first issue I think just came out, and the first issue, it's for some reason Tom King decided to remake the episode of Justice League Unlimited, where she went in the Roulette's fight pit and fight Lady Sabbath, Lady Shiva. I do like the fact they feature her boyfriend in the cover here, Oliver Queen.
Written by Tom King, art and cover by Ryan Sook, variants by Rachka Lynn and Kendrick Liam. The Canary strikes. Black Canary has survived the coal mine and is ready to fight it back against her opponent. Will the defeat of her cornerman, Ted Grant, aka Wildcat, be enough to bring the fight back?
I do appreciate Tom King bringing Wildcat in this book because Wildcat trained her. So it makes sense for him being the title. And the first issue of this one just came out recently. It is quite interesting of a first issue for Batgirl.
Jay, you need ad blocker. I'm just saying that now.
Yeah.
You got too many pop-ups.
Yeah, I'm surprised because it's bleeding cool. This keeps happening once every few minutes. But more importantly, I'm really surprised Cassandra Cain's got a solo title. This is the first one she's had since no, not 2003, since
her miniseries in 08.
Thank you. Was that the one Beechin got to redeem himself after the whole Deathstroke fiasco, or was this after that?
That was him redeeming himself. Okay. It was they did the retcon, which I heard he was told to do that. That was not his idea, and he had to basically play back. I heard he took a lot of flack for making her a villain.
Yeah, it was. If you were around or reading comics during that time, it was not pretty.
And here's the weird thing about her original run: DC has not finished collecting the run in trade. There's actually like about 12, 13 issues not in trade. The new printing they did, where it collected, where it started recollecting the old issues again. It stopped after 3 books. It collected the first 36 issues. Now the last couple of years book that's in trade, but the in between stuff that's still not in trade. You would think DCU with this brand new title, they would, I think they did. I think I did hear something that they did do a DC Finest of her book, where they're doing more so. Which I'm fine with her being DC Finest. That's fine, but I really wish DC would have finished doing that run. I really wish they would have finished, but they never did. The only run I saw that they could complete reprint for new printing was Catwoman Volume 3. They did it in 5 books of 82 issues. They put a lot of issues in the book. Do you want to do this one, Jay?
Sure, go ahead.
Batgirl. Those of you curious, that I believe this is Batgirl Volume 6. Written by Tate Brombell. Takashia Mizawa does the artwork, the interior. David Tezada, that's the cover you see there, does the cover. And Solzma does that bottom cover there. Batgirl grapples with unelected allies. Lady Shiva, she's able to combat the Umberry, a surprise tag that derails the Bajorian plans. Suddenly, it's all-out war with Cassandra Cain all in the middle of Deadliest Hands in DC Universe. Will she stand and fight alongside enemies of her enemy, or will she take up all on herself? Interesting.
Birds of Prey, issue number 18. Now, this book has potential, but it's just fallen off in my mind. I mean, in my mind, the book completely derailed and is yet to recover.
What was that? Was that like when left the book?
Yeah. That and not even so much Harley Quinn leaving the book. I think it was around the time of Night Terrors.
Hmm.
But I'll read this one. Written by Kelly Thompson, art by Juan Cabal. Apologies if I butchered that. Connecting covers by Dan Panesian for issues 18 and 19. Variants by Serge Acuna, Edwin Galman, and Rian Gonzalez. $3.99 for 32 pages.
Not bad.
When Oracle intercepts Chatter and Sin from the Ninja Clan, long bent on acquiring her, Dinah, Sin, Megara, decide to set a trap instead of waiting for an ambush. Meanwhile, Constantine reaches out to Oracle for last-minute help, moving a tricky demon across a dimensional plane. But Oracle only has the skeleton crew of Big Barda and Cassandra Cain on hand. They might not be the best fit for this particular mission.
Now I'm thinking like Murder. Is that the one with the green stuff coming off her?
Yes, that's Sin possessed by Megara. They kind of made her an enchantress, a second enchantress, basically.
Yeah, and it looks like they're confronting ninjas.
Pretty much.
The cover is very appealing. I like the cover. And is it by sheer coincidence one of Two Tails Cassie Cain's featured inside of her own solo book? Oh, look, it's Harley Quinn. Yeah. It's Harley Quinn and their girlfriend, so Poison Ivy. Oink, put out your little dirty trousers together, Professor Pig. Why is he dressed like that for? And yeah, those of you curious, who created Professor Pig? Grant Morrison. Yes, he did. He popped up in his Run for Batman.
Okay. I'm not reading the Harley Quinn one. Can I read the next one after Harley Quinn?
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't blame you. Nick, you want to take this one?
Yes. Written by Elliot Klon, art by Mindy Lee, cover by Elizabeth Torque, variant covers by David Nakayama, Jorge Fornes, Marcel Rosan, and Ryan Benjamin. Somebody ruined my perfect date night. Professor Pig is here. Causing the most... Oh, that's bullcrap. Sensational and available bachelor? That sounds so freaking dumb. I regret to inform you that my one true love, Harley Quinn, has left my heart spurned and abused. Well, I can't have that. So I don't have to do any misadjust individual will do throughout throw a fit in the swamp. Try having a nice time with Poison Ivy now. In fact, get lost, Poison Ivy. Harley's got a new hubby. And he's got a piggy nose. Let's stick there.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that before we end up getting demonetized.
Yeah.
Good God, those are pig.
Definitely.
I don't mind the character, but that's a stupid cover.
Yeah,
Agreed. Poison Ivy issue number 30. Taladio, whenever you're ready.
All right, Poison Ivy number 30. It says, I'll get a full screen out 1 second. Grievously injured after her encounter with the Order.
Sorry about that. Please continue.
Grievously injured after encounter with the Order of Green Knight Master, Poison Ivy finds herself wandering in the strange limited limo. I can't pronounce that. Zone inhabited by the Grey. Meanwhile, Janet and the search for answers above the mysterious town
of Marshview.
Marshview finds herself lost among the green as the two friends attempt to find their way home to each other. They confronted by strange forces beyond either of their reckoning. Across their journeys, the question begins to shift from can they return to each other? Who will they each other by the time they find one another?
This seems a lot more interesting than the Harley Quinn book.
Yep.
I'm not reading Nightwing.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what is that?
It looks like a hive person.
Nightwing 123 by Dan Winters, art by Dexter Sawyer, variant covers by Dan Pushin, Gal Markloff, Gastape Kabakali. Nightwing answers a distress call from the galactically spliced Flybots, creating opportunity to bring another gang on board. It was planned to save Bloodhaven streets from the bloody war. But have they mutate themselves to be far saved? Splicing. So they're bringing stuff from Batman Beyond TV show.
Pretty much.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Batman Beyond, Batman and Robin, issue number 18, written by PKJ, art and cover by Javi Fernandez, variants by Ariel Olive-TV, apologies if I butchered that, and Aaron Bartling, and John McCrae. I almost said John Cena for a second, excuse me. A hospital erupts in flames. A boat careens into a dock. Fresh corpses are found in the ruins of Arkham Asylum. These are but a few of Gotham's historical atrocities, committed in disturbing copycat-like fashion by the foul creature known only as Memento. No, not that Memento from Doom Patrol, a different Memento. While the dynamic duo fails to prevent these heinous acts, the very fabric of their alliance frays and rips. Can Batman withstand losing his city to violence after losing his son to uncertainty?
This is a damn good title.
So far, so good. There was a bit of a brief tone change, but hey, you can't let Damian hog all the spotlight.
No, you can't.
Seriously, what is up with all these bloody ads? Okay, this book is a lost cause in my opinion. I know it's a shelf title, but there is no redeeming this comic.
You want me to do this one?
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, definitely.
Titans number 20 by John Layman, artwork by Pete Woods, ranked out by Collie Hammer and Rob Gallery. Take an overly emotional empath and add a hearty dose of psychosis. What do you get? A recipe disaster, also a belligerent boyfriend. Yes, they're dating. An arranged archer, and sound cyborg, an arranged alien.
Agitated.
A tasty technician, and livid team leader. Yes, Titans are running hot, but the English person of all, the reader, will be you if you miss this issue. Really? I'm still going to read it because I like reading Titans, but... Okay, so it's an emotional issue. The tasty technician. The alien is probably Starfire, obviously. Cyborg. Technician? The archer is probably Roy.
I think Donna recently, Nightwing acquiesced leadership to Donna, I believe, in issue recently in the current issue.
Yeah. So the technician that could be Nightwing.
Possibly. Wait, is this the first time they've canonized Baby Doll, or is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the first time she's appeared in the comic.
Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of weird they waited a long time for this. I mean, she debuted in TV was in the early 90s.
Yeah, I believe she debuted. I don't think she debuted in the original B-Test. I think she debuted in New Batman Adventures.
No, she
the B-Test. Batman the animated series.
Okay, she did debut in B-Test. Okay.
But it's like so strange. Baby Doll, and she debuts in a Two-Face title.
Written by Kristen Ward, art by Fabio Vieras, cover by Baldemar Rivas. Apologies if I butchered that. And of course, Christian Ward does one of the other variant covers. $3.99 for 32 pages.
Good.
When Scarface is kidnapped, Gotham's underworld is thrown into chaos. Is this an isolated incident or the work of the Shadow Hand that Harvey's been tracking as of late? Only Two-Face can bring order to the proceedings, but the culprit isn't another mob boss or criminal mastermind. It's a once famous actor, and she's not after money or revenge. She's after love. It's a trial of tribulation and romance, and good Harvey must get to the bottom of it before bad Harvey takes over.
You have the whole good hard bad Harvey thing. That's actually from Batman animated series, where he was actually called it. It was actually his other personality. Baby doll. Thing with her is they explain the follow-up episode. The reason why she's so short. She's basically a small person, and she can't grow any higher. That's the reason why she's like that.
Challenges of the Unknown. Go ahead, Nick.
on.
Another title that's not been released yet. Written by Christopher Chantwell. Artwork by Sean Rossi. Artwork by Christian Ward. Let's pray to God this one lasts more than 5 issues. The challengers must investigate that the after effects of the Darkseid Shockwave. Their latest mission draws Mr. Harley along with Ray Palmer to remote and far-reaching part of the world where hyper-intelligence seems to have infected a long mission individual from DC Comics past. Missing individual. Things turn even stranger when the being appears to Professor Indiana, claiming to be from the future and calling himself I can't see what it is your mouse is covering up.
I'm sorry.
The Optima Gaim. The Optima Gaim promises untold scientific secrets that is a good glimpse into just the secret top Atom project. That seemed interesting. Now, this is the one that just came out. First issue came out. That'd be really interesting. Those of you curious, who is that person cover? That, of course, as Silsa says, it's Beth Chappell. She's the second Dr. Midnight. She was created by Roy Thomas. Debuted in Infinity Incorporated. Who later died in the 90s thanks to Eclipso, then brought back thanks to the effects of Lazarus Planet, believe it or not. And that's what's keeping her alive. So, she did die. She was killed by Eclipso. She was part of some suicide mission to basically take it out. They took over a country in the Soul Book. Joey Vasquez does the artwork. Collie Hammer does the cover, bring up by Sweeney Boo, Riley Roosevelt, Dale Ingesam, and Ryan Benjamin. Beth Chappell has searched for answers. What's keeping Jericho on his coma, but has come up with only more questions. But will her quest for cure lead her into the lion's den of the Injustice Society itself? I think that's Solomon Grundy on the cover.
I want to say that's Solomon Grundy, but I could be wrong.
Given the size, it probably is.
Hold on. And next is Question Along the Watchtower, issue number 4. This is kind of like a... this one has not come out yet, but it's basically there was a big whodunit mystery involving security in the Watchtower, and Renee Montoya is trying to solve it.
Yes.
Written by Alex Suguera, art and cover by C.N. Tormey, variants by Jorge Fornes and Lucio Perallo. Apologize if I butchered any of that. Cornered and betrayed, the Question and Batwoman must rally a ragtag group of allies to retake the Watchtower from a surprising villain, as the true mastermind behind the conspiracy to take over the Justice League Watchtower is revealed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and like I mentioned last time talking about this book, when Montoya and Kira Motion Tech, she is not basically trying to do anything with Batwoman. That's why they did previously. She's basically known and written to be to keep motion in check. Interesting cover here for Metamorpho, where it's like Indiana. Looks like we have Metamorpho with Indiana Jones. We have Element Girl as
Kill Bill.
Yes, and Java is James Bond.
Yeah, that's funny. That is real funny.
So you have okay. So we have one character dressed up as a character famous by Harrison Ford. The one here, the design that's obviously Sean Connery's look, and Element Girl's Kill Bill. That's Irma Therma.
That is really, really funny.
Yeah. Metamorpho, the Element Man #3, Written by Al Ewing, art by Steve Lieber. Derek Chu does the artwork. Cover. Things that never happened. Okay. I was about to read that. Jay. Jay. You. Jay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I was reading that when you
You skipped it.
Oh, sorry. My fault. Let me switch it back right quick.
It was a memoir for one. Things never happen, but it's real. Hidden real. Ross Mason has split with Sapphire Stag. Metamorph will sing superhero again, but why hasn't Alma Girl made her move? Can it be because she's a lady from Shade, is busy with a deadly secret mission, and will compete with help of Java? What gives? Metamaniacs? All this. And Vandal Savage too, as Al Ewing is Caesar to depict them. Like, I think the way Al Ewing is writing it is that Alma Girl really wants to, she's basically a little Metamorpho. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's gonna be a book that's gonna sell like crazy. Shazam! Oh my gosh, they put Sonya Grace in this book.
Who wants to read this one?
Oh, I put myself on mute. Sorry, Sing Grace is Shazam number 20, right? So it says here a special guest writer stops to tell a very special one-off story, John Kent. And before we say anything, it's a one-off special. Okay? It says Son of Superman in Philly, where something funny happens in the Rock of Eternity, where John is caught in the lightning and transformed back into a little boy. While John gets a second chance of childhood, Billy gets to figure out how to get the grown super son back before the world misses him.
Those of you curious, the way to write this book is Joseph Campbell. Power Girl issue 18. But Sonya Grace. I get the fact he's a one-shot, like bringing a one-shot book for this issue. But why him? Why bring a writer who is notorious for putting his mouth on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm concerned about that as well, if I'm being completely honest.
It's like any book that he probably gets on, it's not going to sell because he's another writer nobody cares for at all. And plus, he wrote the Gay Iceman book.
Yeah, the execution of that plot point, yeah, that was in poor taste. Even I have to admit that. That was in poor taste.
Yep.
But as is, I mean, Shazam has been on a steady decline since Mark Waid left the book to begin with. So I'm not too surprised by this, but but for a one-off story, it's fine.
Yeah.
And moving on to Power Girl, written by Leah Williams, art by David Baldwin, cover by Yannick Paquette. Apologies if I butchered that. And Elizabeth Torque for variants. Power Girl's throwing a housewarming party, but it's soon crashed by eco-terrorists who desire a return to the days where nature flourished without technology. Before she can pause the music and show them the door, they detonate a magic bomb that takes everyone back to the prehistoric age.
I do like this book, and especially the fact they finally ditched the jacket she was wearing in the recent issues.
I mean, the super family jackets were one thing, but they just don't work for everyone, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, and seeing that variant cover down, she's basically back to her classic look. Which, and here's the thing. What is so wrong with a woman showing off her legs? Nothing.
Nothing wrong with that.
And yet some people think it's terrible.
Oh.
And yet Carol Danvers, with the new look that she has, she shows off her arms. Not showing off her legs anymore, but she has shown off her. She shows more skin now than she had in years. Batman Superman, World's Finest 36. Is that? Oh my gosh! They're taking on freaking Swamp Thing. Interesting.
I think Swamp Thing and the Falarnic Man. Who wants to read this one?
I'll read this one.
Sure,
Okay.
Chaladia.
Superman and Batman must team up with Aquaman and Swamp Thing to prevent the global eco-catastrophe engineered by the Floronic Man. An experimental battalion convert wreaks havoc on the high seas and the latest installment of the 20,000 League epic.
His real name is Anton Arcane, and he's Swamp Thing's uncle-in-law. Because Swamp Thing is married to his niece. Is married to Floronic Man's niece, who is actually no, that's not him. It's that's Jason Woodrow, the guy responsible for creating Poison Ivy in the books, which surprisingly kept canon. Batman Dark Patterns #3, written by Dan Winters, art and cover by Hayden Sherman. I'm not sure why they had this split for. That was kind of weird. Very cover Alex G. Wood. Case 01, We Are Wounded, Part 3. Batman is in the dark now. After a clean devastation and suffering at the root of Wound Man's grotesque reign of terror, can the Dark Knight being it all for the twisted climax of another twisted claims in her life? That was the end of We Are Wounded.
Interesting. Definitely interesting. Batman and Robin Year 1, issue number 5. I think this is a miniseries.
Yes.
It's ongoing. I thought it was a miniseries.
Yeah, and in this book, for some strange reason, and people have pointed this out, like, people have asked, why the heck is DC doing this thing where they have to sort of, in a way, retroactively remove Tim Drake from continuity by having Dick Grayson, when he's Robin, wear pants, even though he wore the short shorts.
I guess that's more for the sake of modernity, especially if you factor Teen Titans 03, where, for the most part, in Teen Titans 03, they kind of made Grayson amalgamation. They gave elements of Tim Drake to him, but it was largely Grayson for the most part in terms of personality. Excuse me.
At one point, they even had Dick wear Tim's costume in the past. I don't know why, but they did. Oh, it's a Clayface issue written by Mark Waid and Chris Simney, who does the artwork. Yannick Brennick and Bernardo Rundo and Jacob Edgar does the variant covers. A lead from Gordon provides Batman opportunity to chase down one of the General's assets. And the best way to get close to him is not as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne. But with Bruce Wayne off on his own, Dick is left at Wayne Manor. What's a boy wonder to do when no one's watching?
Okay, Ibra, this is the this one's leaning a bit past Valentine's Day, but it's the Long Halloween issue number 5, sequel issue number 5.
The last Halloween.
Thank you. I wouldn't have brought that up in the advertisement, but that's just me. Written by Go ahead, Nick.
Written by Jeff Loeb, art by Bill Sienkiewicz. Interesting choice. I don't think these two have worked together in comic before.
Title, go ahead. I don't think so either, but go ahead.
Yeah, covered by Tim Sale, probably John before his passing. In 1996, Jeff Loeb, written out by Bill Sienkiewicz and Rob Liefeld. That's interesting. In 1986, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale teamed up for Batman Long Halloween, an award-winning 13-chapter saga that's multiple sequels and Stan's most influential Batman story of its era. That definitely is true. Now Loeb's returned to World of the Long Halloween for his long-anticipated final act, Batman: The Last Halloween, an all-new 10-part mystery containing a story from the 2021's the Long Halloween special. Each issue will be joined by one of the top artists in history, leading to Tim Sale's Art Legacy. Guess who's got a special Valentine's special for Gotham City? Yeah, it's a Joker. I don't know why they keep. It's like for the Slits they keep reprinting the same exact thing. I got the fact, yes, people know it's all about basically about Honor and Team Steel, but do we need to basically reprint the same exact solicit for every issue? I don't get it.
Neither do I. Hush. Oh, wait. Are these collections or is this? Yeah, these are collections.
No, these are fax mouse. These are reprints. Yeah, this is basically the Hush stuff. Because Hush is coming back soon.
Yeah, probably just. Yeah. Okay, we can skip those. Batman 89 Echoes issue number 6.
Is this the
okay, I'll take this one. Go ahead.
Is this the future of Batman? And
No, this is
Nightwing.
Batman universe.
oh, okay.
I guess below that's obviously Batgirl.
Oh, okay. One. Finish.
Okay. Written by Sam Hams, art by Joe Quinones, also who does the cover, and Pablo Rivera, and a variant as well. There's no cure for terror. Gotham is in the grips of a citywide panic attack, and only Batman can stop the Scarecrow's viral fear formula from falling into enemy hands. Meanwhile, Harley Quinn makes her ACN television debut by taking station management hostage. New friends, new foes, and old flames collide as Bruce Wayne reclaims his cape and cowl with a vengeance. The epic finale of Batman 89 Echoes.
I would not be surprised to get an error one of this because I've been enjoying this miniseries.
It's good for what it is. And the Milestone Universe, The Shadow Cabinet, issue number 4. This is the last issue. This is the finale of that miniseries, written by Joseph P. Idlich, art by Daryl Banks and Antigum Ilhan. Apologies if I butchered that. Cover by Dennis Cowan, and variant by Nicholas Draper Ivy.
Looks like I see John Stewart in the cover.
Wait, John Stewart?
Yeah, he's next to Hardware.
Oh, now I see him.
Interesting. He's part of this book, even though he's not. More like, I highly doubt it's due to the fact he's black. And I think I see Icon there, who's above Hardware. I think that's Rocket. I can obviously that's Static. The one here with the gun, I'm not sure who that is.
Granted, this is not the final cover. This is just inks. This is just the pencil, excuse me.
So a lot of the other characters, I don't know who they are. They could be from Shadow Cabinet. I don't recognize them because I've never finished reading Shadow Cabinet. I only recognize a few people here. So
it's all been leading up to this. The heroes assemble to face a threat greater than they've ever faced before. But is it too late? Not if Rocket and Static rise to the occasion to become the shining beacons of hope for the Milestone Universe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. DC Horror presents Creature Commandos issue number 5. This is a mini-series to set up.
No, not Creature
You said something,
Commandos.
Saladia?
Not Creature Commandos. Why Creature Commandos?
They're cool.
No,
This is synergy for the TV show mostly.
But the book is good. And I like Creature Commandos. I think they're a cool group. I think the book is actually... I've read the first couple issues. The book's been really good so far. David Dossman does the writing with Jesus Aver on the artwork, covered by Teresa R. Very covered by Sabe Verma. Stick to your fangs. The Pinocchio of this miniseries. Twist tale of haunted past. Dr. West needs this mission to succeed. For all our sacrifice to be worth it. The Commandos are assembled our deadly team. What happens when up against a robot army that is immune to their monsters' powers? Now, I've been reading this book. I've been enjoying it. And I think the first issue of this one just came out finally. Green Lantern Dark. Which, this is set in the Tangent universe.
Yes, it's an Elseworld story, I believe.
But it's set in the Tangent universe.
Oh, okay.
Because this Green Lantern is known for having an actual lantern on like a pole. But it's like this is set in the future of the Tangent universe. This is where this miniseries is set. Green Lantern Dark, number 3. 40 pages, $4.99, not bad. Written by Tate Brembaugh. Art and cover by Werther Dutira. Very covers by David Nakayama and Terry Nagin. When a young Luna gets snatched away in the night by the monster that haunts New Camelot, Green Lantern has no choice but to venture into the belly of the beast, nightmarish castle, with until horrors within. But her green flame draws the eye of someone who watches instantly from the dark. Perhaps the castle is more secrets than just the beast. Interesting.
Another
Stupid
ad.
God damn
The
it.
two sides of the same story. Two sides of the same story shown here in one incredible special. DC Vampires World War V, Darkness and Light. Now, this one, it's just good to see Alfred again, even if it isn't an Elseworld story. So,
Are you sure it's Alpha or is that sure it's not Sinestro?
wait, Sinestro's in this comic?
Sinestro also got a mustache too.
Huh. Written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Nicola Chismizua and Daniel Bayliss. Apologies if I butchered that. Cover by Otto Smith and variants by Edwin Galman. Wonder Woman, Child of Themyscira turned vampire, and
So
Alfred.
Alfred.
And
So I guess
Alfred.
that is Alfred.
Go ahead.
So I guess that is Alfred.
That is Alfred as a Green Lantern.
Interesting choice.
And there is a new Batman in this comic, but I won't spoil who it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where was I? Oh, yes. Child of Themyscira turned vampire, and Alfred Butler of the Waynes turned Green Lantern. Their paths couldn't be any different, but for each, a chance encounter will force them to re-examine what it means to survive in a world ruled by darkness. Showcasing two sides of the same story, this double feature special illustrates how anger and vengeance can break you or fuel you, how it can be ruin or salvation. Still, Alfred as a Green Lantern, I mean, you got to admit that's pretty stinking cool.
Yes. Makes you think, why the heck DC killed him off in the first place in the main universe? Right?
Editorial.
Um,
Jenny Sparks, issue number 7. Now, okay, Nick, you have more experience with this than I do, so please explain this to me. If Jenny Sparks is supposed to, if Jenny Sparks is supposed to be the embodiment of the 19th century, and you have Jenny Quantum for the 21st century, what's the point of this miniseries? Like, I know it's Black Label, but still.
I don't know, it's just another Tom King book. At the battle with catastrophic consequences, Jenny must rebuild. The defeated Cap must rebuild the devastated Cabinet and through him the world. Will she do so in Image or leave 21st century enough alone? And all this and more in the unforgettable conclusion to the Clay universe.
Pine miniseries. Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor. Oh, this is a second printing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember this book.
Yeah.
I must have a while ago, and okay, so like, how long ago was this first issue came out? Because it's been a while.
Almost a year, I think.
Like, I'm not sure why the heck they delayed the release between 1 and 2. This is probably the longest delay between issues in the history of this imprint. A freaking year. Like, I kept wondering, where's issues 2 and 3? Oh, it was in March?
Yeah, March and April.
Like, here's the thing. Wade is not notorious for having delays this book. Hitch is. He's had some delays this book. But if you want to blame somebody for delays of this book, I'm putting the blame on Hitch. Because he's had a history with this. Wade does not have history with delays. It's Brian Hitch's fault. That's who I'm putting the blame on. For a delay of this book.
Yeah, Mark Waid has a lot of flaws, but not meeting deadlines or delays, that's not one of them. I have to agree with Nick on this one. Mad the little Batman tie-in comic for the movie. Oh, it's only a 4-issue miniseries. I thought it would be longer than that. Okay, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Reprinting of Swamp Thing 30 Saga of the Swamp Thing 37. Ooh, nice. Sandman reprinting of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Any collections this month?
Oh, that's what I was talking about. DC's Finest that I was going to talk about. Yeah, this is the collection I was talking about. The collecting Batgirl, including issues of Superboy. This collects issues 827. A lot of people were curious when this book came. I heard this was solicited because people question like, okay, so you collect issue 8. What about the first 7 issues? People were questioning that. And this is the first DC Finest for Batgirl. And from what I've heard it's explained is that DC's Finest is like the Epic Collection where all the volumes are being released out of order. So this could be just volume 2. But why 827? I don't know. It's like 20 issues plus another one's like 20 issues. It's really lengthy. 40 books. I did hear about this on sale in April. Interesting. Love that cover. And interesting, they're collecting once again issue 12 of Batgirl, which is always done by Chuck Dixon. Now this is interesting. DC's Finest soon have a giant turtle man. This is Jimmy Olsen. Okay, so all your favorite Superman members don't get a chance to shine DC's Finest in full color. Lois Simeos and Perry White, Lyle Lang, Streaking the Super Cat, Crypto the Dog, and more to Larry Tail showcase. More like a girlfriend, pal, boss, or pet man. Still collect stories from July 1960 to October 1960 were published in Superman's Girlfriend 1928, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 4756, Action Comics 266 and 2677, Superman 241, 241, 242, and 247. Now this was talking about the Peacemaker stuff right here.
So, but before we, I just want to say that the Superman family thing, that cover is from the Superman 75th anniversary.
It is.
Yeah, that special cover.
And I'm so glad that those issues are finally reprinted in color because the only place you can find Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane, those issues are in black and white that Showcase Presents issues.
Yep.
And look at this Peacemaker book. One of those books here, let's see if I can find it here. The Peacemaker miniseries. Prior to this trade, that had never, ever collected before. And I'm sure Paul Kupperberg got a copy of this book because I'm sure he's so happy to see this book in trade. Joe Gill, Paul Kupperberg, John Osborne, and more. Art by Paul Balti, Dennis Cohen, Todd Smith, more. Cover by Pat Bowie. Chris Smith is a peace envoy, diplomat whose entire life is devoted to the elimination of war between men. In fact, believes so much he's willing to do anything for it to preserve it, including fighting it. Christopher Smith is the Peacemaker, discovering the comic origins of the character from the hit TV show on Max and his very own DC's Finest volume collecting of Peacemakers. Never before collected comics before. The Fightings 5, 40, 50, 40, 40, 40, 41. The 5-issue miniseries Peacemaker from the 6-7. Peacemaker 1 through 4. His cameos from Checkmate 16, 26, 28, 32, 33. Suicide Squad 27, 30. Vigilante 37, 38. 41, 43. Eclipse 11, 30, 40, 43. 640 pages. Damn.
For $40.
Yeah, but I am so happy his stuff is collected in trade because it's almost like he's been virtually ignored by DC Comics for years, and now he's finally getting a book.
DC Compact for New 52 Wonder Woman.
Yes, yeah.
It's a Brian Azzarello book.
Jared will be getting this one. Jared
you already know.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brian Azzarello got a copy of this already because he wrote it. Because I've been hearing near Mint. Anytime these trades come out, the writers get advance copy of this immediately. And that comes out in August.
Yep.
Okay,
they had to do a compact for this one. They had to.
Yes, they had to. Oh, guess which comic writer is actually a fan of that Wonder Woman run?
Who?
David Finch. I told this Brian Azzarello. You know what he told me?
What?
He has good taste.
Hmm.
That was his words.
Yeah, the New 52 Wonder Woman run is relatively underrated. It does play into the mythology, probably a little bit into Kratos and God of War, a little too much at certain points. But the Azzarello run's pretty good for what it is. Like
Yes.
even I have to admit that. And I was never a big fan of the New 52, but I can admit
The
that.
only problem I had with it, I had some issue with it, like the Amazon returning to slavers or rapists and slavers. Her base having the same storyline for like 20 freaking issues, where it's like her being a bodyguard for the mother of one of Zeus's children, and then the storyline is kind of concluded abruptly at the end of the Azrael run, and then Mary just has to include that story, that plot thread at the end of the run.
Yeah, editorial did not give this series a fair shake. I will admit that. But still,
Yeah, and
for what they were, for
told
what
me
they were,
this about one writer. One artist worked with Jim Lee. He told me this. And I meant to speak to you about this. That the last story, the last series that Jim Lee worked on that came out on time was Superman for Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
According to Brian Azzarello, that was the last one that ever came out on time. My guess is part of the reason why Justice League doesn't count, because I can tell that was released on time. Well, I think last major one he worked on. I mean, I would say just like maybe he had some advance, maybe. But Jim Lee was on the book for like a year and then he left. Because I think he did the opening 12 issues and he left that book. Because people know him for taking his sweet time with these books.
but I just want to highlight New Frontier as a definitive classic and a true love letter to the Silver Age. So this was a classic.
Not only check out this book out, but also check out the movie.
Oh, perfect adaptation from beginning to end. Maybe a few minor details are tweaked, but not much.
I think that the movie made a tribute to Darwin Cook after he passed away.
I'm pretty sure it was too.
Oh, the trade for last more.
Yeah, it definitely would have wrapped up by now.
Quite interesting. It's been quite an interesting miniseries so far.
Yep. And
Robin Williams, that one just wrapped up. I know that one did.
So these are compact books, right? Is there anything
No, these two
are collections.
collections? All right.
Yeah, these are the collections.
Yeah, these are collections. These are collections. These are the compacts.
Yeah. How much of the Miles was collected at a compact for Wonder Woman? Is that like the first 12 issues or so?
I want to say it's the first volume. Oh, bloody ads. And it is rated at $10. Pages are unknown. But I think it goes up to the first volume.
Yeah, it doesn't say what it collects.
Nope. But more than likely, it's the first volume going by the description.
Yeah. I'm thinking in the case of the next one, that's probably the whole miniseries.
I would believe so as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now we're in the standard collections for Plastic Man No More, which would have wrapped up by then, and the Death in the Family Robin Lives, which just wrapped up.
Yep.
Absolute Batman, Haunted Knight. Okay, the first arc.
Haunted Knight was a series of one-shots.
Yep. DC
I know
Pride box set.
Yeah, it's collecting all the Pride one-shots. Be very quiet.
Batman.
It's Batman season. Which, if anybody's ever read this book, Tom King writes Elmer Fudd's so in character in this book. He does the whole like he plays the art with W's. He still does that. New printing of the
Booster Gold 07 series.
Which this book is so good. I did a review for my YouTube channel. This book was so fun to read and review. And I tweeted not Dan Jerkins. I tweeted JMTS about this, where in the last issues that he and Keith Giffen did, where the lead super show up, I asked him this. I said, what was the lead super show up in the last issue of the run? Was that Keith's idea? James says, yes, it was. It was his idea. Dark Knight Steel Deluxe is probably collecting the whole 12-issue series in one trade.
Yep, DC's Game of Thrones. All right, Gotham City Year One.
Which I believe that Comic Pop basically they just did a review of this just recently.
Green Lantern: The Silver Age Omnibus Volume 2.
New printing.
Harley Quinn Volume 3. A Clown About Town.
This run is like I've been collecting. This has been confusing. This run, it's like the book has backup stories in it, which I'm like, what? Like I'm a buy because it's Harley, but good gosh, like what the heck was seeing Howard thinking writing this book?
Your guess is as good as mine. And this is the Scott Snyder and James Tynion run, the Justice League.
Yeah, the first half. But the book is amazing. I'm surprised TV never talked about this book on his YouTube channel.
It's a great book. New
Justice-
52 book 2. Nice.
Nice. Legion of Superheroes, 5 years later.
I'm glad Legion Super is getting more trades because there's a lot of material for Legion Super not in trade.
Nightwing Rebirth Omnibus. Now, is this the full thing or just Volume 1?
I think it collects the it looks like it collects the. Okay, so it looks like it collects possibly the entire Tom Seeley run.
No, it says it there. Rebirth 1, Nightwing 1 to 49, Batgirl 14 to 17, Batman 1, 7 and 8, Batman Prelude to the Wedding, Nightwing versus Hush, Detective Comics 941 to 942, Green Arrow 32, Red Hood and the Outlaws, Annual Number 1, Suicide Squad 26, Teen Titans 12, and Story from Batgirl 25, DC Rebirth Holiday Number 1, Special Number 1, Robin at 80th Anniversary, 100-page Super Special Spectacular Number 1.
So it's everything before the Rick Grayson stuff.
Pretty much. And
Just
fourth and final part. Go ahead, Nick.
It's a manga. I've reviewed the first couple trades. It's quite interesting, this book.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're getting almost done here.
I think so too.
Punk Rock Jesus.
Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
it's the Adam Glass book. That's Adam Glass.
Oh. Okay, Suicide Squad New 52. And I think we're done.
Yes.
We're done.
Jay, have you ever read the opening issue of Adam Glass's Suicide Squad?
Yes, I remember reading it one time, but I know it's been a while.
The issue opened with a torture scene.
Yeah, now it's coming back to me.
I don't know why Glass did this for, because when he came back to Teen Titans, I'm like, really? Why Adam Glass? It made no sense when he brought in the book. And look at that. We got all done in just 2 hours.
Yep. Tevye, if you're curious about the Halloween special, it'll go live at 6 p.m. It's about it's about 40 minutes, so it shouldn't take too long.
Be right
And And Cameron says turn John back into a child only for it to be one time. That's more likely than you would think, Cameron, because it's never going to happen. I'm sorry. This is just a one-off.
It's a one-off thing. I had to put that out there. I had to emphasize it because
I know, Taladia. I know. We know.
Yeah.
But what'd you think of the solicitations?
Interesting. Very interesting picks.
Yeah, I did nitpick or some creatives I would have changed, John Ridley especially. But all in all, this was a pretty exciting lineup of solicitations. I had no problems with it. And once again, happy belated birthday, Talati. I'm sure your birthday bash was a great success.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, we got wrapped up, and then I went to Jared's stream, and then I'll tell you something off stream. So
fair enough. But we're just waiting. Now we're just waiting for Nick to get back. Anything you want to? Yep. Anything you want to promote while we wait?
Yeah. So next week, guys, will be I'll be doing live reactions to Superman and Lois season 4, episode 8, and I'll also be doing Snyder Fans Read Comics on Wednesday. Absolute Batman #2, which I'll be covering.
Nice. Nick, what did you think about the solicit so far?
They look quite interesting. I think probably the most interesting book that's not the single issues of the trades is probably that Peacemaker one.
Okay.
Right.
That because basically, because a lot of that stuff had never been collected here before. It's like DC ignored Peacemaker for years, and now we're finally getting trade for him. I'd say of all the books, I'd say probably the worst book out of all these books that I saw solicited was the Harley Quinn book.
Yeah, I'm surprised that got collected at all, if I'm being honest.
No, I mean the single issues coming out.
Hmm.
The one with Professor Pig.
Okay. Yeah, I
That
was
one
trying to...
I'm gonna read it, but good gosh, that looks so bad. It's probably gonna be the worst issue of that run so far. The Catwoman. I'm checking a lot of these books anyways, but there's no denying that's probably gonna be the worst comic of the month for DC. That one when it comes out.
I would not be surprised if that was the case. But as for me, please stay tuned for the premiere of my reaction to the Velma Halloween special tonight at 6 p.m. EST. Excuse me, Eastern Standard Time. And also sometime this week when Nick and I collab again for Comics Blaze. This time we're going to be reviewing Secret Wars 1985, Marvel Secret Wars, the original one, I believe 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared and Talati and I will be collabing again in the near future. Whether it'll be a Blazing Shonen episode, I do not know, but I will let y'all know.
There will be a Blazing Shonen episode coming soon.
And Nick, anything you want to advertise before we wrap up?
Just got some anime reviews to work on, a couple comic corners, and that's probably it. Next thing I'm going to be watching, I just did say, As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, using my praise the writers in the world. Next is going to be, the newest episode of Rama Half, the remake.
Nice.
Which is interesting to watch anime that I had watched before, like 4 years ago. I had no idea we got a remake coming, and then all of a sudden, we got a remake. And it's basically what we did before, but no filler this time.
Interesting.
Yeah, in just 7 episodes, they've already covered the first 22 chapters of manga.
All right. With all that being said, please like, comment, subscribe. Also subscribe to these gentlemen, Nick Lenz and Taladia Plays. And again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And I gotta say one thing before we wrap.
Sure. Go ahead.
Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs with General Zod. Zoe is the Maxibat for life, and Bizarro for life. And we'll see you later.
Wonderbat.